Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone to the fifth round of the World Team Championship 2022. It's the clutch final round of the preliminaries, with India having to finish in top 4 in order to qualify. Because if you look at the standings right now, India is in the joint fourth position. It seems we have to play out of our skins today to beat USA. So just to show you what the standings are, second, let me just put this out right now. There we go. We have the standings. These are the standings for the tournament. And we have Uzbekistan at the top with 6 points. India has 4 match points. If you look here, the third tiebreak 1, 4. And Poland has 3, United States has 2. So if United States beats us, they will move ahead of us. And Poland today is taking on in the fifth round against Uzbekistan. So if Poland winning is actually detrimental to us, so we have to check out that as well. Azerbaijan, Israel. Again, if Israel wins, it would be tough for us. So yeah, if we want to take our future in our hands, we have to win this round. That's the main thing. Let's go, guys. For the game, the very interesting game, which is Hans Neiman playing against white pieces against Vidit Gujarati. We just make sure that I have the yep, there you go. Knight f3 by Hans, and Vidit goes d5 in the center, e3, knight f6, b3, bishop f5, bishop e2, h6, bishop a3. And what Hans is telling Vidit is that if you play e6, I will capture and ruin your castling rights. Okay, so Vidit is fine with it. He decides to play the move. Knight bd7, c4, c6, and now after castles, e5 is played by Vidit. Bishop takes f8, king takes f8. So while Vidit has lost his castling rights, what does he have in return? Guys, anyone in the chat who would like to try this? For losing the castling rights, what does Vidit have in return here? Let me see if I can. Yes, center control, Krishna Char, Deepak Lingam, Venkat Dondapati, Aditya Jain, Arun Narayanan. Thank you. You are right. Vidit has these central pawns. So quite an interesting position. I would still say white is slightly better because he can take, play d4, put his knight on e5. So a very typical line could be take, d4, e4, knight e5, and you don't want to take now because after d, then the knight is attacked, and then d5 pawn could get weak. So you play queen e7, putting pressure here, take here, and after bishop d7. Okay, this is a position worth exploring. I felt like white should be okay here, but it seems like black is also doing very well. You go h5, you go g6, you put your king here, you got your rook here, and although these pawns are on the same color as the bishop, say space advantage does mean something in such positions. So let's see how this game goes. Let's go to the next game. This is between Nihal Sarin and Vladimir, Alexander Onischuk. D4 by Nihal, knight f6, c4. Ooh, guys, Nihal Sarin does not opt for his favorite London system. He goes c4, e6, knight c3, bishop b4, e3, castles, bishop d2. This is another line that is Nihal's favorite. d5, knight to f3, b6, cd. It's a well timed exchange because whenever the bishop comes here after cd ed, the bishop would be facing sort of a closed pawn. So take rook c1, bishop e7, bishop d3, bishop b7, castles c5. And guys, how do you continue here in this position as white? You will see that your all pieces are developed. How do you continue here as white to play? Magic Bunny says h3 comes to mind. Not bad, Magic Bunny. Could be a useful move, h3. But I think a very typical idea here. A lot of you want to play e4, but I don't get it. After de4, don't you lose a pawn? Because the bishop lose a piece and a pawn, everything. Just would be wrong to go e4. Guys, think again. Yes, the right move now is knight e5. And let me see how many of you have got it right. We have a few of you who have guessed it correctly. 95, Arup, Vedant and Shlok. And the point is, guys, if your opponent goes knight to c6, putting pressure here or here, yes, now we have to decide what to do. But imagine if he plays knight d7, he's not putting pressure here. Then a typical move is here. If you go knight d7, guys, what is a typical move in such a position? Let's go. I think this is a rated rapid event, not classical. Let me confirm it to you whether it is rated rapid or not. Rated rapid or not. Yes, it is. It is. It is a rapid rating event, so their rapid rating will get impacted here. Yes, absolutely right. Here, you put your pawn on f4 and you cement your knight in the center. And a very correct answer here given by Kunal Gupta, Konote, Braille Gebra, Naman, Madhu, Ishan, Venkat, Karthik, Bhavik, and Sanjusha. You are just strengthening your knight in the center. Magic Bunny, thank you for becoming backer of Indian chess. Thank you for becoming a member. A6 was played here, not knight d7, not knight c6, but a6. I wonder what is the problem with knight c6 as such. Is there some issue? So I'm putting pressure here. There could be something that he did not like, yeah. I'm just thinking what and how does a6 help? Or is it just a useful move a6? Because now imagine I go f4 and knight c6, knight e2, defending here and here. I think this is how Nihal might play. Very quickly, guys, we can check on our ChessBase board as to how many times this position has happened before. Uh, So d4, knight f6. This is ChessBase 17 that you are seeing, guys. Please do check it out. The links are in the description. It is all new. Tomorrow is the day when it is all the keys will be delivered. So in case if you are knight f3, b6 waiting for it, then get yourself bishop b7, castles. I think bishop d6 was played in the game, correct? No, bishop e7 was played. Bishop e7. Now Nihal went rook c1, correct? Yeah. And c5, knight e5, and this is the position. So knight c6 has been played here 81 times before in this position. Already we have seen it happening many times. Bishop e1 is the main move here. Okay. And a6 has been played a few times as well here. And f4 is the main move. Let's see what Nihal has played here. Nihal has gone for, after a6, he's still thinking for his move. Let's go to the next board. I would say Onischuk is one of the most experienced players in the US, but Nihal is very strong. So Nihal, we can say, is maybe small favorite here, even though rating wise Onischuk has a huge difference, 2693. Why bishop e1? So let's say, for example, in such a position, if you go knight c6, I go bishop e1. The main point is that if you take and take here, I can think of giving this up and taking here. But even stronger is actually that bishop e1 takes, you can take here, bishop takes, and now instead of taking with the pawn, you can go knight e2, attacking the bishop and taking here. And now you understand why the bishop is on e1, because here d takes e3 would have hit the bishop on d2. So let's say he goes back and now you take with the knight and white is slightly better. So this is a very subtle point of the move bishop e1, preparing here. Yes, c4 is possible, Akash Deep, that, like let's say here, but white would be happy with it because of a very simple reason. One word only. Can anyone tell me? What is that thing that has happened after c4? What is it that has happened after c4? No, not position is closed. No. Come on, guys. There's a word that I'm looking for here. Let's see who's able to find that word in the chat. Tension is gone. Rush. Rush gets it right. He says tension is gone. Look, whenever these pawns are looking at each other, there is tension. Oh, he will take it, I will take it. But the moment you play c4, you have lost the tension. So whenever he'll come here, I have absolutely nothing to worry. My center remains very stable. Okay. I hope you get this concept of tension. Okay. Let's go to this next game. This is SL Narayanan versus Varujan Akobian. Now, Varujan Akobian, very well-known grandmaster. Actually, if you search his name on YouTube, you will find many instructive videos, especially for the St. Louis channel. d4, knight f6. He's playing against SL Narayanan. our young talented boy who plays the Nimzo Indian. E3, castles, bishop d3, d5, knight f3, c5, the most solid way to play against the Rubinstein system. Castles, dc4, bishop c4, a6, a3, take on c3, b takes c3, b5, okay, bishop d3, bishop b7, a4, okay, this allows c4, bishop goes back, knight develops, maybe this a4 move wasn't the best, but okay, c4, knight develops here, bishop a3, rook e8, and now white would love if he gets e4 here. And so his move here is queen b1. And his point is that, look, I'm putting pressure here. So in case you will defend it with your queen, then I will play e4 with e5 coming up. And then this bishop here, white is clearly better. But black has a very powerful move here, as the engine points out. And guys, can you find it? Black to play. What is that powerful move in this position? Madhu Mohan, very good. Very logical move. Rajiv Gopi Kesavan, also not a bad idea that you've suggested. Sagar bhai, Tata Steel Masters ka lineup dekha. Has it been revealed fully? I believe Arjun will be there, and also I think Prag would be there. Let me see. Tata Steel Chess. Strongest field ever, they say. Magnus, okay, Ding, Fabi, Anish, Wesley, Rapport, Levon, Duda, Guki, Arjun, oh ho, Nodirbek, Vincent, Jordan, and Pragu. Wow, what a tournament. So you have Prag, Vincent, Nodirbek, Arjun, Gukesh, 5 youngsters. And you have Magnus and Ding and Fabi and Anish and Wesley. So, nice event. Amazing. No, this is not Tata Steel Chess India. This is Tata Steel in Vaikanze. 13th to 29th January. Okay. I'll be looking forward to maybe going there, yeah, this time. With 3 Indians playing. Should be good. So the move here that I was looking for, and let's see how many of you have got it. Very good. Madhu Mohan, Mastermind, Indrajit Forever, Shlok Mali, Happy Bhatt, nice name, Hemanshi, Nachiket, Risal, and Nivya. You take here. Now, look, we are not patzers, or we are not beginners to know that these are doubled pawns. We know that they can be weak, but they can also be strong. As we know, king h1, rook g1, the rook can open up, the bishop is here, you can play e4. However, in such positions, it is quite possible that after e5, what does happen here is that white is not able to make use of these central pawns and his bishops. Actually, a very strong move here is knight to d5. And it's very surprising because you are giving up this pawn with a check. But after something like king h8, now I have dual threats. One is g6, because after bishop g6, fg6, even queen g6 cannot be played because of rook g8. And the other one is knight c3. And both these threats cannot be handled easily. So it seems like this position with queen h4 and is clearly better. So right now Narayanan has a tough decision to make, because on one hand you know that bishop f3 is possible, on the other hand you have to convince yourself that this is actually good for you. Even a move like queen b6 is pretty interesting now. Just defending here. And let's say you go king h1, go e5. The knight coming here. So this is all looking very... Oh, he's taken it. He's taken it. Bishop f3, gf3. Let's go. And will Narayanan find knight d5? No, he plays queen b6, which is the second most logical move. Because why would someone give up this pawn? I agree. Queen b6. I think Narayanan has excellent chances here now. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. What about f4 here? Possible stopping e5. Let me just point this out. If you play king h1 and I play e5 and you take and my knight takes, this is totally winning position for black. How? Firstly, knight is coming to d3. Secondly, f3 is a huge weakness. King is weak. What is the queen doing here? This is all horribly placed. So, queen b6 on the board. Okay, let's go to the last board. This is looking good for India here. Here we have Sethuraman versus Quesada Perez Uneski. Let's make a nice chart, no guys. थोड़ा ऐसा screen पे ही you guys should get to know कि what is happening, है ना? So what we will do is we will say here Neiman. Let's do Vidit 0-0 Neiman. Okay. Then we have Nihal 0-0 no, what's his name? Onischuk. Narayanan 0-0 Akobian. And lastly we have Sethu 0-0 Quesada. Okay, so that's how our team is, and we'll put it here so that you have at a single glance all the results that are there. Also put it here. It's a center में मस्त. इसको थोड़ा फॉर्मेटिंग भी करते हैं मस्त. Okay, not looking good, but okay, fine. This is terrible from the look perspective, but from functional perspective very good. तो ऐसे रखते हैं. ठीक है, जो भी है वो यही है गाइस. थोड़ा चला लो. एक्चुअली सब एक लाइन में क्यों? ओह यस, आई गेट इट. व्हाई इट्स नॉट कमिंग इन वन लाइन. गेट इट. एक मिनट. हाँ, एक मिनट. आई नो. हाँ, नाउ वी हैव इट. लेफ्ट अलाइन करना था. अब सब ठीक है. अब बढ़िया. सब बढ़िया सी. सब चंगा सी. थैंक यू गाइस. Thank you for always believing in the vision of ChessBase India and fixing it. Badhiya. Okay. So now e4 played by Sethu, e5, knight f3, knight c6, d4. Do you know what's the name of this opening? Do you know what's the name of this opening? Anyone? Scotch. Rajiv, Akshay, Srivatsa, Rayan. Very good. It's known as Scotch. Take. Bishop c5, knight b3. All good. All standard. Knight c3, d6. You know, I have this. I play this line often. give this check, play here, and then put your bishop so that the knight cannot come here. This is what I like to play as white, as black. But he went directly bishop c5 here, d6, bishop f4, queen d2. And actually Sethu is a very good player in these must-win situations because his opening prep is excellent. He has written many books in the opening chessable courses and so on. So he's very well prepped up, and he has played f4. Now Quesada has to decide whether he wants to castle long. Does he want to go short? f5 is coming up. Is that good for him to give up his bishop for the knight? We will see. So for now, I would say that India is doing, let's do a quick roundup, okay? India right now, Vidit, whoa, what we discussed did happen. Knight c3, queen e7. He did play d4, e4, knight d2, h5, rook e1, g6, a4, king g7, queen c1. This is great position for Vidit Gujarati here. And he did not trade the queens. Very good. Can anyone tell me why he did not trade the queens? Bishop f1 now on the board. Anyone? Rajiv says is f3, f4 normal, looks like a small loss of tempo. Yes, but you know, the way in which black played in that Sethu game, bishop e6, queen d7 does look artificial. So Sethu wanted to punish it. Time control is 45 minutes plus 30 seconds. Sort of do or die, I would say, but there are chances that if India loses, we might still finish fourth. There are chances. Yes, he wants to attack. Also, the thing is that when you have more space, h4 played by Vidit, excellent move. You have more space, you want to keep more pieces on the board. With the pawn on e4, he wants to keep more pieces so that he can attack. Let's say, for example, here in this position, if you go and exchange the queens, then somehow white is looking very secure. You know, he'll go rook b1, c5, b4, b5. White is looking fine. But if you keep the queens on the board, h4, h3. Okay, this was the idea of Neiman, that if you take, you can't take with the queen now because my bishop is protected here. But black has a nice move here in this position, guys. Can you find it? Black to play or move ka ploob ho gaya, but black to move. What can you play? Yes, Pranjal, you are right, because Vidit has more space, so he wants more pieces on the board. Absolutely right. And our chat, apna chat ko does not have to be told twice to attack. They are like, attack to karenge dosto, pura hi upar. We are going to attack completely. Srivatsa, Naman, Maverick, Rajesh, Shashwat, Mista, Chirag, Kunal, Deepak, Disha. You want to go G5, G4, H3. Boom, boom, boom. You're going to attack. That's how you want things to roll. And let's see if Vidit plays it. And there you go. Vidit Gujarati goes G5. You know, I do feel that Vidit has become more aggressive than before. He takes more chances. And that's why, you know, moves like g5, and earlier we would think maybe Vidit might not go for it. Now for sure he does it. But if white wants to avoid getting run over in this position, yes, he must play f3. That's what I was going to say. He should not just sit there, and that's what Neiman has done. He's played f3. He's opened up the position, and for Vidit it's a question now. Should he take? Should he not take? I think you should take. If you can't take with the pawn because h3 is hanging, so you must take with the knight. Now this pawn is hanging here on g5, but can we go g4? Careful about e4 ideas in the position. Actually knight e4 could be possible, but then takes and g5 might hang. It's very complicated. Look at this. Knight e4, take on d5, cd, knight e4, take on de, and now my plan was knight g5. If you play, I want to go queen g6 and trap your knight. This is exactly the reason why I played this line. I calculated it. But there is a very nice intermezzo which foils my plan here. White to play. Anyone? Can anyone tell me? White to play here. No, there is a very nice intermediate move. No, if you go d5, possible actually. d5, not a bad idea. Very nice, all those who said d5. But a stronger move than d5 is bishop c4, hitting the queen. And then if you go queen g6, knight h2 can be played. So bishop c4 is the move that I was looking for. And we have Krishay, Mista, Rajiv, Utsav, Madhumohan, Harshal, Ishan, Prashant, Bhumika. Well done, guys. Excellent job. So f3, take. Now you don't want to go knight e4. That is a mistake, as we just saw right now. You may want to go g4, but then knight g5 is a cool move, attacking the queen. And again, it's a waste of time, energy, effort. Jo bhi bolna hai bol do. That does not work. So after knight f3, black has to find a very important move here, and I want the chat to guess here. Black to play. You can't play knight e4. You can't play g4. What is the move that I'm looking for now? Black to move. This is the live board, Shiva. You want me to show the live board? Well, yes, king g6 is possible. King g6 is actually not a bad idea. So all those who said king g6, good job. But the best move here, get ready, is rook to h5, and the right move by Srivatsa, Rayan, Shubham, Anup, Arup, Aradhya, Kamal, Shovik, Nitesh, KD96. The main thing is that now you've protected the pawn, but you're also protecting the g5 square so that after g4 the knight doesn't jump in there. You want to push g5. Meanwhile, Vidit Gujarati says, Sagar bhai, itna kyun complicate kar rahe ho? I am not going to take at all in this position. And I am playing my rook a to e8. And I'm just defending this from here. Oops, knight b1 was not played. Rook a e8 on the board. He's just holding in the center. And now I do have some worries here. Let's say take on e4. Maybe d4 you don't want to do because knight c4, knight d6. This is the worst thing that can happen. So you take with the bishop. He takes here. Now once again you don't want to take with the pawn, so you take with the knight. And now when he takes here, you may take one with the queen. And such a position is what you want to play as black. But you know, I'm not convinced 100%. I think that white is still okay here, at least visually, that white has activity. This pawn is not weak. This is coming here to here. But the engine is saying that this position is bad. Rook c1, queen f5, knight sits here. It says that it's just bad position. Knight e4, queen f2 is coming. So I think with its move, not bad. Rook a e8. Let's see. Let's wait and watch how Neiman is going to react to it. We will say small edge for Vidit here. Going to the second board, Nihal Sarin. So what Nihal did here is that after knight e5, a6, he put his bishop back on e1 as planned. He wants to go f4 and bring his bishop out to h4. Knight c6 was played and now f4 makes a lot of sense. cd, we know that the intermediate move now is to take. He took, and now if we had the pawn back here, then definitely, so let's say for showing you this, let's assume that in this position bishop e1, knight c6, and I play the move h3. Okay, I'm not making any weaknesses. If you take this, I take, you take, I go knight e2, attack the bishop, you go back, knight d4, big advantage to white. Okay, knight is sitting on a beautiful square in front of the pawn, blockading it. It's an isolated pawn. Everyone's going to say white is better. Okay. The question is, what changed? Instead of h3, f4 takes, and now if knight e2, Bishop b7, knight d4. What has just changed here? Can anyone tell me in the chat that this position is not a big advantage to white? Why? Anyone? E3 is weak. So good, chat. So good. Amazing. Aditya Jain, Inevitability, Magic Bunny, Rayan, Darshit. Now this pawn is also weak. So if I could have got a chance to put my pawn back, I would happily do it. But I cannot. That's why they say always think twice before moving your pawns. Here e3 is weak. Also the e4 square is weak now. The knight can sit here. So that's the reason why Nihal did not go for knight e2 business. He just took, and Onischuk has gone knight e4 in the position. Now Nihal has to tread carefully here. He is winning a pawn, it seems. No, he's not actually. I was wondering if take, rook takes, but in fact he's not winning a pawn with e d3, queen d3. He's actually losing a pawn after queen d4, bishop f2, queen d3, and takes. And okay, this is equal. I don't think Nihal would want to go into this sort of equalish line. But then again, if black gets his pawn to f5, black might be the one who is trying to push in the position. So maybe Nihal should seriously consider this, or he may be thinking about take and d5 here, blocking the bishop. But in such positions, it feels as if black's bishops are very powerful. Not an easy position to assess though. This is not at all easy. I would say Nihal might be tempted to take bishop e4 and d5. But the right way to continue here is maybe just go for this. Agree that, yeah, I have not played the opening well, and then round up this pawn should be around equal. This is how it seems like Nihal should be playing. It's an offline event, guys. It's happening in Israel. We are seeing this happening there. Okay, let's go to the next board here. This one is SL Narayanan. Hi, SL Narayanan G. After taking queen b6, we saw an f4 on the board. SL said, I'm going to play g6. Logical. SL is creating dark square weaknesses in the position, but SL is also asking his opponent, how are you going to take advantage of it? If your bishop was on h4 here, then yes, I'm scared. But your bishop is on a3. It's shooting in darkness. It's shooting in thin air. So e4 was played. Now Akobian says, I'm going all out for the attack. Knight h5. f4 is weak. He's putting pressure here. Bishop comes back because the bishop does dream to come and take advantage of these dark squares. Can we go and attack this further? I like black's position here, to be honest. Somehow something about this position tells me that it favors the knights, not the bishops. Bishops love open positions. Knights love closed position. Although the position is not closed, it can become closed. Just one move I was thinking, like let's imagine a move like f5. Although maybe here it could result in some sort of trouble because after AB, rook a8, rook a8. Now I have a question to all of you in the chat. Is e5 a good move or a bad move? Tell me. Use your brain. Think about what white has and think whether e5 is good or bad. Should white play e5 or not play e5? Bad move says chess is best. Akashdeep says bad. Magic Bunny says bad. Akshaj Patel says bad. Yes, bad. Excellent. I love that the chat hates this move, and it's true. It's a bad move because it closes down the position, which you don't want. When you have the bishops, you want to blast open the position. You want to just say, even at the cost of losing pawns, I want to open it up. So what's the move that comes to mind here? Not e5. What is the move here? White to move. Come on, guys. Anyone? Srivat says good depending on what you are trying to achieve. Srivat, we want a good move for white right now. You want to open up the position. Just boom. And I love how the chat is doing this boom in style. D5 is the sort of move that booms the position. And we have Rajiv, Praful, ChessBase, Chandan Nagar, Ojas, Naman, Venkat, Neeraj, Jaideep, Pranjal. You are just blasting open the position, and this is what you want. If you take with the pawn, I am taking here, you take here, my bishops, all of a sudden, of course, you're losing a rook, but my bishops, just think of it as this long hair, which are now flying in this. Don't keep it closed. You need Zulfe to fly. So also, if you play ED, I'm going to take EF, and now this opens up. This is how you want. And Queen C7 played by Narayanan. Well done, SL. Hitting here, now not caring about AB5 because this pawn is not very important. Rook A8, Rook A8 and Queen B5 because this is not where the problem is. Knight F4, Bishop F4, Queen F4, Queen takes on D7, check here, King here, and now a very important move that needs to be played at this point of time. Black to play, otherwise black is worse. What is that move, guys? Black to play. Come on. Gaurang Gupta says, are you teacher? Maybe. I don't know. I think I am a commentator slash teacher slash just entertainer slash entrepreneur slash many things. Okay. Very difficult to say what I am. Yes, Queen F3, you can make a draw. Check. Or you can go Queen E2, attacking here and here. This is a very good move. Attacking this. And if you go here, should I take the bishop? Not really. I'll give a check, Rook G2 and boom, mate. It's a mate on the back rank. Queen E2 by Advait, Chandan Nagar, Akshaj, Rajiv, Saurabh, Satvik, Shweta, ChessBase, Ritesh, Yash, Bapat. Well done. So here E5. Oh, I don't like E5. I don't like it. E5, E5, E5. I don't like. I hate E5. But E5. What is it? I forgot the dialogue. But okay. Anyway, the main point here is that now it's time to not waste your time. It's time to not waste your time. And to take advantage of E5, E5, E5. I don't like, but E5 likes me. Something like that. Yeah. This square is now weakened terribly. And your knight is like, I want to go there. E5 is made for me. Let me go there. D5 square. My knight. I want to come here on D5. So the first move that comes to your mind is knight B6. But then you think to yourself, हाँ पता है ये भी मर रहा है, but he will take, and then I will take, and then he will take, and then I will take. And now if only I could get knight D5 and defend my pawn. Oh no, I'm losing the pawn here. I can't play it. But guys, think beyond. Don't get stuck with just this. Think beyond. Aage badho and say to yourself, so what if this pawn is lost? I get knight D5. Isn't this worth a pawn? Isn't C3 hanging? If he goes back to B2, can I not just attack? If he goes back to A1, can I not win the F4 pawn? So that's how you are calculating. This is known as a positional pawn sacrifice. Knight to B6. And I'm very much looking forward to SL Narayanan playing it because he's going to have complete control over the light squares now. So SL Narayanan in good position. Let's go quickly and check what is up with Sethuraman. After Bishop G3, Queen D7, he did play F4. We had long castle on the board and now Sethu goes Bishop H4. I do not like this move for a very interesting reason now. The move is G5. What a nice move. And you know guys, this reminds me of the Sicilian opening Because after take, what's the point here? Can anyone tell me? Black to play. Why did you sacrifice this pawn? It's not about the move only. You also have to tell me the reason. Tell me the move. Tell me also the reason. In one line. What is Black's move here? Why did he give the pawn? Why did he give the pawn? Anyone here? Yes. Opening up the rook. Okay. Anyone else? Knight g4 is the correct move. And what is the point? Not to open the g file, not to open the h file. Taskin says outpost, but which outpost, Taskin? There is a square you get by playing g5. Anyone in the position, can you tell me which square are you getting? Socho. It's not just this square that you're fighting for here. e3 is, yes, you are, yes, knight g4. Of course, you have a threat of bishop e3, but your opponent is not going to let you do that. The main point also is that you are getting the e5 square. And that is exactly what happens in the Sicilian defense. Some lines like classical variation, take, knight f6, knight c3, d6, bishop g5, e6, queen d2, bishop e7. I might not get the line correctly, but I'm just trying to show you some, let's say, such a position. h6, bishop h4, and now many times, not exactly here, you go g5. And the point is, after takes, you want to go knight g4 and get your knight to e5 square. So it's a very typical idea whenever white has these pawns here to give up one of those pawns and to fight for this square. In this particular case, however, it's just more than just this square. It is also that this bishop is looking at e3, so the knight can get extra stuff. Now Sethuraman goes bishop f2, but this is not looking good for India, guys. Sethuraman has landed in not the greatest of positions out of the opening. He must buckle down. I think he must start thinking carefully, because after take here, at the very least, knight g4, let's say queen e2 or queen g3 you play. I could play g takes f4, although there is knight c5 here. So maybe in order to avoid this business, I can take this knight, pawn takes, and now gf4. And this position is positionally difficult because knight is going to sit on e5. It's an outpost, guys. There is no pawn to kick that knight away from the e5 square. So if we look at now a roundup very quickly, Vidit better, Nihal equal, Narayanan better, and Sethuraman slightly worse. Let's go quickly and see if Vidit has managed to keep up his advantage in the position or not. After rook a e8, cd did happen, takes. Vidit is very, very sharp here. He would not allow to take with the pawn and allow the knight to come here. So Vidit went bishop e4, good move Vidit. Takes here, again takes with the knight, good move. He takes, we actually analyze this, queen b4, attacking this pawn, and Vidit here, yeah, I think he could have played knight f6 here. He could have gone and he could have said to Neiman, be my guest, take this pawn because I am going to checkmate you. This could have been sort of the approach, but of course it's very risky to play this way in team tournament, especially when so much is riding on your shoulders, when you are playing on the top board, when every move is important. You don't want to play risky chess. I think with it, if this was an individual event, might have gone for knight f6, but being a team event, he goes rook b8. But now Neiman is getting back into the game slowly. Knight f6, good move. Rook to c7. So he's getting his play here. He's attacking the b7 pawn. Also, the f7 pawn could get into trouble at some point. This is getting dangerous. China has won of all the matches in Pool A so far, even without Ding in their team. What a strong team. Himang, they don't only have Ding. They don't have Yu Yangyi. They don't have Wang Hao. They don't have Bu Jiangji. They don't have I mean, they don't have anyone. China, but this is the bench strength of China, you know. And also, since the last couple of years, what the country has gone through in terms of COVID and all of it, all their players haven't gotten opportunities, and everyone might have become a stronger player, you know, practicing at home, playing more online chess, and so on. Now, for Vidit, I feel this is the right time not to get more passive here, because I don't see a way to defend this pawn. Yes, you can play b6, but that allows bishop takes a6. Secondly, if you were to play b5, just with the idea of take, it is possible, and maybe with it could go here. But how about going g4 and telling your opponent, I don't care if you want to win this pawn here, because I will open up your king. Okay, so he says I'll take here, but once you take here, I take with the queen. Now there is no time to take such a pawn here, because I can just open up this position with, let's say, rook b7, queen b7, and now h3 or queen g3 first, attacking the rook, and then h3, h2. Doesn't look good. Doesn't look good. So rook c7 on the board. Lead is shining on the top board. You know, once I was playing Qatar Masters, and in the last round, I was, you know, I played the tournament as a player as well as a journalist. I used to play, and I would then go back to my room and write reports, and I would write like 6 hours. So I would play against a 2500 or 2600 opponent, and then I would write. So I was doing like 2 rounds a day, where everyone was playing 1 round a day. And in that tournament, I started off well. I drew with Fedosiev. I drew with, I think, Nana Zagnidze. It was a good event. And then in the last round, when I had actually lost interest, I was up against some player. I don't know if someone may be able to find my games from Mega Database or from somewhere. In the last round of that Qatar Masters, I was up against a Chinese player who was 2300, and I said to myself, he's not very strong. I don't want to play against him. I'm here to play strong opponents. Who is this player? And so on. His name was Dai Changren. Dai Changren. He was some 2200 or 2300 at that point. And guess what is Dai Changren's rating now? I think he's already a GM. Dai Changren is 2515. He's an IM. And he's now very strong. So it is very clear that these Chinese players are underrated. And he was one of a very prime example who just crushed me over the board. Like, he was 23. I was 24, 30, 40 or something at that point. And he just beat me just like that. Okay, this looks equal right now. Now Neiman actually getting his play rolling. Let's go here and see if Nihal did do what we had just mentioned, it seems to me. After 94, Nihal took with the bishop. We were actually discussing knight takes, but he took here, d5, bishop c5, bishop, king h1. He had to play bishop b5 perhaps. Bishop b5, allowing this, because this bishop anyway is not a great piece here. But he went bishop b7, knight e4, queen d5, takes. Okay. Nihal Sarin should be able to hold this without any difficulties here. This should be around equal. Maybe Nihal can also start pressing a bit. Right now, rook c4 is impossible, dosto. Why? Very quickly, I want at least 100 of you to tell me why is this move bad. Guys, 100. Please. Let's go. Himang says, did SL just blunder a rook? What? SL was our big hope, guys. Please don't say that. I'm looking for all of you to give a right answer here. We have close to 34. Real Sagar Shah is back. Siddhant, Madhu, Tarun, Utsav, Yash, Rakshit, Avanish, Satre, Yash Agarwal, BD3. That's a double attack and it's a lost position. Well done. We have 67. We would reach 100 for sure. But more important is, no, I don't think he played rook 8. Come on. Rook d8. They have made a mistake here, guys. Mara takes. You see the... so it has happened this way. Take, bishop e4, and he played rook b8. Believe me. Believe in SL, believe in me. This cannot happen. You know what the broadcast is showing? AB, Rook 8, Rook D8, Rook B8, Rook B8, Bishop E4, Rook A8. Something like that they are showing. So clearly something going wrong with the broadcast, but I believe this is what has happened. This is yeah, transmission error. But now SL Narayanan, if this is the position, guys, I have a feeling that there is a interesting move that white has, and the move is f5. And once again, it goes back to my thing that if you are going to allow black to sort of clamp down on the position, it's going to be bad for you. So you need to open it up. F5 opens up the position, and after takes you can go bishop f3, knight g7. You can now take here. You can suddenly see the bishops breathing. Bishop's feeling good, and if gf here, then at this point again bishop f3, knight g7, and bishop h6 with the idea of king h1, rook g1. Suddenly black is in trouble. So a very important moment in the game. I'm just assuming that this is the position right now with f5 on the board. Let's see. Let's go to Sethu's game. After queen d2, he did take on f4. Okay, so Sethu after knight g4 he went queen d2. Okay, takes, queen e7, g3, queen g5, rook d2. I'm not liking Sethu's position one bit. There's nothing about Sethu's position which looks good right now, guys. Shashwat says you had also lost to Nubair in the same event. Yes. That was a very nice game. In fact, Nubair had played a very interesting. I had played a new idea with him, and at some point I was winning, but I couldn't find that winning idea, and I lost. That was a very good game with Nubair. I should some point use it as a calculation exercise with that game. It was a very nice game. Rook d2 played here by Sethuraman, blocking this diagonal. And maybe now I think knight g5 makes a lot of sense. If Sethu can somehow hold magically this position, I mean, it's not like lost yet, but it's going in that direction. If Nihal can somehow keep up the pressure because he is slightly better, you see, this is typical Nihal Sarin position. You may not even know why he's better, but he is, guys. The reason is that he has this nice structure जहां पे सब लोग खुशी से एक दूसरे के साथ जी रहे. The bishop defends the pawn defends the pawn. This is a very happy family. हम दो हमारा एक. Meanwhile, for black, it's a happy family here, but only two. This little guy here feeling left out, and he's saying, well, I'm looking a bit weak here. And it could turn into a big problem when white will start slowly trying to enter the position. It's a bit too much to think. But even with the king side pawns moving ahead with this bishop looking here, this is exactly the kind of position that Nihal Sarin excels in. So Nihal should keep that pressure going from his end here. And at the same time, Vidit Gujarati goes for g4. Vidit says by Neiman, I gave you a chance once about b7 pawn. I did go passive, but this time I am not going passive. I am going active and I'm playing g4. Excellent move by Vidit Gujarati, putting pressure on his opponent. Don't know how Neiman should react because if he takes queen g4, h3 coming in looks dangerous. Rakshit says, if India, just to be clear, if India wins this, they are still alive in the tournament. I think, Rakshit, if India wins this, they are very much alive and kicking. They might even finish second in their group. But if India even loses this, I think there are excellent chances that we may still finish fourth. Why I say that is because USA may go ahead. I mean, you have to see the difference with which India beats USA beats India if that happens. So look here, USA's points are 6.5 match points. India is on 7. If USA beats us, yeah, they might beat us with 2.5, 1.5. So they will go to 9. We will go to correct. We may go behind USA. So we shouldn't lose this game. Then not only will USA match us on match points with 4 points, but they will also go ahead of us in game points. And that is not what we want. So then, and Poland right now is playing against Uzbekistan. If Poland manages to beat Uzbekistan, they move ahead and then we are out of the tournament. So actually, it's a very important thing what happens between Poland and Uzbekistan. That's also top 4 qualify, correct. Top 4 qualify to the next round out of 6. And then we have the quarterfinal. So very quickly, I want to check if there is somewhere Poland versus Uzbekistan. Yeah, this is board 1. No, board 1 is this. Wakidov Shamshidin is winning. Okay. Pretty good. Wakidov Jakongir is losing. Man, Poland actually fighting quite hard. Okay, for me it's complicated. Gumulars Zimon is actually which country is he playing? I think Poland, right? Gumulars. Okay. We will win it, guys, because with it Gujarati right now, Hans Neiman has played rook e2, which is not a good move. Go with it. Vidit bhai, you can go and attack now. How does Vidit Gujarati attack in this position? Not sure. Or does he play positionally? Let's think. Okay, one idea that comes to my mind is rook e8. Okay, just improving the rook. तो तुम बोलोगे भाई उसमें कौन सी बड़ी बात कर दी. Okay, one thing I know why Neiman did this. Neiman did this because after gh he is saying my rook will swing here and I will get to check your king. Got it. But now after rook e8, let's imagine that you take here. I take, or maybe there's an intermezzo a5. Very interesting move. Let's try it. Let's fix the pawns a little bit. Take. Okay. And now comes a very important move here. Guys, can you tell me what is that very important move here in this position that black must play? Very difficult. Black to play. I don't even understand what the long-term repercussions of this move are, but I just love this move. It's amazing. And I think what is happening after this move is positional domination. No, not knight h5, guys. Look at this move. Not knight h5 here, which is not a bad idea to go here. But g3 and g3 mentioned by Rakshit, Satvik, Shaurya, Archit, Voskos, Sandeep, Venkat, Darshit, Samir and Safal. The question is, what happens after queen b5? Because I'm attacking your pawn here. Let's say you drop your queen. Okay. You take here. You want to take this pawn, your pawn up. Now is the moment of truth. How many of you can find the winning move here for black? देखते हैं chat में कितने लोग tactical monsters है. How many of you are tactical monsters? Go. 1 minute. Let me not reveal the answer. Yes. Come on. This is the point. This is the point of the move. By the way, Vidit Gujarati has played a move. But here, first, the move is brilliant. I am in love with the chat. Amazing job. Safal, Ankur, Amit, Om, Real Sagasha, Beradia, Vikash, Archit, Samir, Archit. Brilliant job. Take on e3. If you take here, check king here, mate. No, queen f1, mate. This is exactly what you want. This is exactly what you want with g3, guys. It's based on this little tactic, but it's one of those tactics which work. But with it says, I'm not even bringing my rook here. I'm going to play g3 directly. Good move with it, Gujarati. Excellent move. And maybe with it already knows this idea. If you take your first fix, why I'm saying fix this is because if you take, then this pawn unnecessarily is hanging. No, like if you play rook e8, queen a6, then if you play something like queen f5 trying to come here, then he might go back with his queen somehow. No, how can he go back? It's not easy. Queen c6, rook e3, queen c2. He may try to defend it this way. Correct? But imagine in the same position you have a pawn on a5. Then you are even winning after this endgame. Take, and then rook takes b3 and knight e4. So that's the reason why this little move here, intermezzo with a5 makes so much sense. When he takes, pehle karo na, usko attack karo. He can't take it because his rook is hanging. When he comes up, now you take, queen takes, then go queen f5, rook e8, chop this, go in. That's the plan. Vidit Gujarati in the driver's seat right now, guys. He is better. But what about our little guy, Nihal Sarin? Nihal Sarin making sure that India does not lose hope of a full point on this board. He's just playing a team man's role. You know what a team player does? He doesn't agree to a draw, nor does he do anything. He'll just keep playing. He will just make sure that everyone in the team feels comfortable. Oh, Nihal is slightly better. Everyone in USA is like, maybe Onischuk might lose. Maybe he will draw. We don't know. Nihal is a very good technical player. This is the board where we have a psychological edge more than a positional edge. Like, position might be very slightly better, but it's not winning. But definitely pressure here with Nihal should in no way accept a draw right now, because you don't know what will happen on other boards. Meanwhile, this board, the right, अरे यार right notation नहीं आ रहा है. इसको गेम को देखे कहां से guys? क्या हुआ है ये गेम में? I have no clue. Is there anyone who knows what has happened in this game? Rook b8. I think this is the position right now. After take on a8, rook a8, bishop e4, rook b8. This is the thing. But somehow this game has atco-fied like anything. No, SL has not blundered. I don't know if there is on any other platform it is coming correctly. Maybe live.chessbase.com or chess.com or follow chess. Is the game coming out correctly anywhere? No. Everywhere there is an issue, yeah? Chess 24 is coming. It's wrong on Chess 24. The move order is wrong. FIDE website also wrong. I think everywhere. Because the board is the same, no? So till those arbiters don't fix it. When at the Olympiad such things would happen, I would run to the live board arbiter and I would tell him fix this thing quickly, because the entire world is watching it right now and we cannot afford to have this wrong. And I think this is the problem right now. USA, I think on Chess 24 they have fixed it somehow, but still there also it's the same. It's hung up. Okay, we don't know. I think SL is doing well. Meanwhile, let's quickly go to Sethuraman's board, because after this take queen e7 g3 we saw till here, he took the queen. Really? Why would he take the queen? Because he's fighting for this square. Now after gf4 he does not have this square. But actually Quesada says I'm trying to weaken and isolate this pawn on f4. Okay, seems like a viable plan. Rook f1. Under pressure still. Sethuraman still not looking good, not looking bright here. The position for him after fe4, maybe bishop e4, bishop f5. You want to, this is a weak, if you count the number of weaknesses, you will see that white has one more weakness than black. And there's a concept to denote this. What is that concept called? When white has more. Yes, on the mainstream we can see that, but what are the next moves? I know SL would not blunder rook 8. This is for sure. It's a very basic blunder. But what are the next moves? We are unable to follow. Yes, Pawn Islands, Rohan Balasubramaniam, Taskin, Jaideep, Amartya Kumar. White has one, two, and three pawn islands, while black has only two pawn islands. So that's the reason why black is better in this position, and that's the thing which Sethu has to now just buckle down, fight hard, not give in this position. If India wants to win today, it is very important for Sethuraman to hold. Meanwhile, is Vidit Gujarati doing his job? Yes, Vidit Gujarati plays a5. Brilliant move by Vidit Gujarati. This is the kind of chess we want to see from our players, that you don't even give up this little thing to your opponent. You push that pawn, attack the queen, and now take on b7. Vidit, just take it. Queen takes, and the thing that we have been discussing about, queen to f5, and then either the rook comes here and boom, or the rook comes from here. Notice how the queen is controlling this square as well on f5 from on c8. So next you want to come here, and the moment your rook goes back, the f2 square is weak. So you see how this entire position is filled with teamwork. The pawn is telling this pawn, I'm with you, my friend. The pawn is telling to the queen, queen, I'm at your service. Please come to f2. I'll always be there waiting for you. The queen is saying, but yeah, this rook is not allowing me. Rook comes in and says, madam, I'm coming and making space for you. So everyone fighting here in black's camp perfectly. This is a brilliant game, and I hope that Vidit can take it to its logical conclusion, because actually it is almost a forced win. After queen f5, rook c8, knight e4, white has no play in the position. VD has the increment is 30 seconds per move, guys. So that's not an issue, I believe. Or is it 10-second increment per move? I think it's 45 minutes plus 30 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, let's quickly go and check what is up with Nihal Sarin. Nihal, dhire dhire, no hurry. Check king here, f5, h5, h3, take. I'm actually surprised that Nihal has not brought his king up in the game. He should do that very quickly. Get the king into the game. Meanwhile, SL Narayanan game. Oh, it's corrected, दोस्तों correction हो चुका है. Rook a8, bishop p4, rook b8 on the board. f5 played. Varuzan, Akobian, good job. Actually, you should always appreciate good chess, guys, because Akobian has found the best move. If he didn't do this, he would have landed in a sort of passive position. And now good move by SL to take with the e pawn, not the g pawn, as we know that bishop f3, bishop h6, king h1, rook g1 with the g file opening would have been dangerous. So he took with the e pawn, bishop f3, and now very nice move, queen d7. कैसे सोचा भाई तूने ये मूव? क्योंकि मेरे मन में, like, I would have thought this knight is hanging, right? So I would have gone and saved it. But then queen takes b5. And SL said, I hate this position. I don't like it. Because all of a sudden, this bishop, these pawns, dangerous, this bishop opening up. No, this is not how I want to do it. So I've been ready to even take these doubled pawns, these crippled pawns. Look at these pawns. They look like some kind of I don't know what. Charpai. King h8 and rook g8. He may want to do this. And what is one big advantage that black has after this? Yes, his pawns suck. But what is the big advantage he has? Yes, threat was bishop h5 and f5 was hanging. b5 was also hanging. So with queen d7, he has defended both these pawns. Not just g file, d5 square, pushkar dhere, exactly. Put the knight here. You also get the g file, light square control, and bishop is like, भाई ये तो मेरा जॉब ही नहीं है. मेरे को तो किसी ने बोला ही नहीं था जब मैंने ज्वाइन किया था कि light square भी control करना है. I'm just going to focus on dark squares. Knight is like, I'm like multitasker. I can do everything. I can go on dark squares, light squares, whatever you tell me, I'll do it for you. So great move, queen d7 by SL Narayanan. SL Narayanan fighting hard there. By the way, a very strong move could be d5, because knight d5, I was thinking rook d1, but rook d1, there is knight c3. Crazy chess, guys, because now you take here, I take here. bishop d5, attacking here, rook f8, trying to defend, then the bishop can come in, then the knight can go to g7, then bishop g7, king g7, and e6 maybe. Oh, look at this move, guys. Look at this move. Bishop f7. Crazy chess. Rook takes f7, e6. Khatam. Khalas. You can't go here. Pin. If you take here, pawn takes queen. It can get so nasty here. That's how dangerous this position could become. I was just analyzing randomly, but could happen very much so. Meanwhile, Sethuraman here, as we suggested, he was under slight pressure, still is. Knight f6 on the board by Quesada Perez, very experienced player. If I'm not mistaken, Quesada Perez was from which country? I think he was from Cuba, just like Dominguez. And now he plays for the US. You guys can correct me. You guys can correct me. And now, what about this game? Meanwhile, oh, with it. Takes, queen f5, brilliant chess. Goes rook c8, brilliant. Now the queen is coming in. And then he goes queen e5. Hans is like, with it. Let's trade the queens. Bhai, apne ko nahi jamega, tumhara queen bahut hi strong hai. With it is like, Hans, do you think that my queen is strong? What is really strong is my g3 pawn. It is cramping your position like anything. And you know who are the real champions in this position? They are the black pawns. Notice them, guys. G3 pawn does not allow this king to come out. And there is a perpetual mating ideas on the last rank. The a5 pawn single-handedly controls two white pawns. So all of white's pawns, black's pawns doing extra duty. Rook can now join in from here. The king can come up and pick. Black can just roam in this park. Now look, Neiman says, Vidit bhai, I am going to push b4 and I'm going to try and queen my a pawn. But now, Vidit should just calm down. Black Lotus. Because he can go rook c1 and he can tell Neiman, b4 khelna hai. b4, be my guest. Play b4 because after rook b4, I'll go knight d2. Oh, there's knight d2, there's rook f1. Rook f4. So careful. I thought I'm going to win this. But no, knight c3. Because now threat is check. King can't come up. King gaya, ye mar gaya. And rook f4 can't come because of knight e2, knight takes f4. So you must go rook b2. But then I will take this. And then I will bring my king. And then I will play aram se. It's gone. The position is gone. Nothing moves. Rook c1 on the board. Vidit Gujarati again finding the best move here. I think Vidit's going to lead from the front to help India score this important win. That game is beyond doubt. Meanwhile, we see Nihal is like, yeah, sorry, what did I hear in commentary that I'm not making good use of my king? Okay, fine. King g2, king g3. Yes, anything else do you want me to improve? Yes, Nihal, can you find a passed pawn? Can you somehow create a passer here? Okay, fine. Rook e7. Now my idea is to go g5. Because if you play fg5, rook g7 with the control of the bishop and the rook. He's going all in there. I like Nihal's position, guys. It's one of those things where you think, अरे draw हो जाएगा draw. बोल रहा हूं ना draw हो जाएगा. But नहीं होगा because Nihal Sarin is one of those players who will constantly keep putting pressure on you. Let's hope that Nihal is able to continue that. Meanwhile, bishop d6 here played. So queen d7 we saw. He did not take on h5. He played bishop a3. What sort of move is bishop a3? Why? I mean, here is a position where you need to sort of push your pawns. But I think Akobian wanted to put his bishop on d6 and then try for d5. Okay, understand. Knight f4, great move by SL Narayanan. Both the knights are like, we reunite again. We are going to join hands together on the d5 square. Bishop d6 coming in. This time there is no transmission error because the rook moves. नहीं तो ऐसा फिर से something will come knight d5. We're like, oh, SL blundered the rook. भाई नहीं blunder करेगा वो. Rook c8. He plays his rook here. He wants to get his knight to d5 now. I like SL Narayanan's position. The bishops and knights are in a deep fight here. Bishops are saying we are superior. Knights are saying sorry, not really. Now queen a1. The queen wants to somehow enter from this side of the board. Can we go knight b d5 and attack the c3 pawn? There's also a possibility of knight h3 check, knight g5, attacking this bishop, and nice position for SL. I think he's winning. Look, this is the idea. Check, king here, attack. Okay, you go back, and now knight e4. I'm going to put my knight here, attacking this. Next move, my knight comes up. Light square symphony. White has the bishop pair, but black has the knight pair. And the knights can both work on one color complex, while the bishops always have to work on light and dark. That's how it goes. That's the basic of chess. Meanwhile, Sethuraman is the one, I would say, of all the four boards, Sethuraman is in the biggest trouble. Rook g8, good move, and Quesada Perez is playing this really well. Bishop g4, and Quesada is saying that, look, if you are going to take here, I'm going to take with the rook. I'm going to attack this pawn. Yes, you want to defend it. Maybe you can, but rook h4, attack on h2, attack here, knight g4. I'll unleash another attack. My other knight can go and sit here. What are your pieces doing? You know, the only thing that is in Sethuraman's favor right now is that the material is even. That right now he's not down any material. So we might think, okay, he may be able to hold this. And I really hope he would be able to. But positionally, he is in big trouble. Let's quickly check the game of Vidit Gujarati, because very soon Hans Neiman might resign. Rook c1, b4. Neiman plays it. Neiman is like, I'm going with it. I'm going to queen my pawn here. You know, this is what I'm going to do, because I am an ambitious person. I'm going to queen this. With it is like, okay, Hans, I'm also going to queen my pawn. What do you mean? You know, I pushed it to b3. Hans is like, no, I'm queening because no one is here. My pawn is just 2 squares away from queening. With it, please don't stop it. Sorry, Hans, I'm stopping it. If you take here, I have knight d2. So a7. Hans is like, with it, I'm coming. No, please allow me to queen. Okay, Neiman, you can queen. But first, I will defend my pawn here. Next move, I will take here. Then I will go back here. Then I will push here. Time to resign the game. Resignation from Hans Neiman. India 1, USA 0. Good game by Vidit Gujarati. I would say one of the finest games by Vidit in this tournament. Excellently played. I really loved how he managed to figure out that g3 was the right move to play here. After g4, rook e2, he said to himself, cut out all the noise. The main thing is to just shove in this pawn to g3 and baki sab dekha jayega. a5 also brilliantly played. Take, queen f5, rook c8. Classy. That was a good game. This is exactly what India needed on the top board for Vidit to fire. Now India is 1-0 up in the match. This makes it really good. But Sethu, we have to consider that Sethuraman is in some trouble on the last board. So we really need Vidit Nihal to keep his cool here. As we said, keep going, Nihal. Keep going. No hurry. Just keep the pressure. Because now Nihal is attacking here. And if you defend it, Nihal might try to then play a4, a5. छोटू improvement दोस्तों. बड़ी नहीं. देखो एक बुक तुमको दिखाता हूं मैं यहाँ पे. Today I had some kind of a podcast somewhere where I removed all my books out from their. And this is the one that Nihal believes in. Although Nihal has never really heard of James Clear. Nihal, if you ask him what is atomic habits, he's like, huh, what? What is atomic habits? But he knows what it is. He knows that after this, little improvement in the position means that the pawn from a3 to a5, that is a little improvement. And then this pawn is a weakness. The bishop still controls it and everything is good. Let's see. What does he do now? Rook to c7 has been played. Nihal Sarin thinking about his move. Onischuk thinking about his move. Let's go to this board. This game is very interesting. Actually, what we discussed did happen. Queen a1, check came in, king h1, knight g5. And here, believe it or not, I was thinking about f4 as the player. But I felt that this is the best move. But knight e4 is what the engines want me to play. So I showed this move. But very normal for humans is to play f4. But the engine is suddenly saying, don't like it. But why don't you like it, Mr. Engine? Because look, I want to play f3. I want to trap your bishop. Oh, f3, horrible move. You know what was the right move? I think it was just insanely tough. You have to go queen c1. Okay, I understand that if you play f3, you want to win this knight. Fine, I get it. You want to play h6, you want to win this pawn. But the idea of SL was anyway to go queen f5. So then what's the problem? The problem is bishop b7 hitting the rook. And you're like, okay, fine, engine moves. I go here, rook e8, then you go bishop c6, unnecessarily hassling my rook. Let me go here. Oh, then you are then looking for something like this. No, f3 maybe. And you see the position, the bishop is outside this pawn. It's not inside. But now look at this bishop. f3. Oh, the bishop is like, Akobian, why did you give me this horrible life? Inside the pawn, what am I to do? And suddenly SL Narayanan is like, e3, my knight has got a beautiful square. And this is the battle between bishops and knights. The knights are simply crushing it. Knight e6, bishop h3. Oh, the bishop does actually activate itself from the other side. But maybe a bit too late because e3 is a massive hole there. That's a big weakness. That's a big weakness. And in fact, I was thinking to myself, if he goes here rook e1, we could even just laugh at this bishop and play the move f5. Why not? You can't take en passant. I'll take your bishop, and this bishop is heavily restricted still. Okay, let's see how SL. So if SL wins, Nihal is definitely not losing this, guys. Kuch bhi ho jaye. Nihal is not losing this. And then even if Sethu loses this position, which right now is not clear that he will lose, he's worse, but he's fighting. I think India has excellent chances. So let's keep our eyes fixated on SL Narayanan's game, because this is where I think India's ticket to the quarterfinals lies. If SL Narayanan converts this with the black pieces, India is through just very easily. After any 3, can't white play d5? But how? You mean I can just take it back, right? There are people who are saying that knight c2. So let's say knight e3, rook e1, there is knight c2 fork. I understand this might be also very strong. But you know, this knight is at least worth this rook. I don't want to even give it up. But look at this move that I love. Queen d8. Forget about positional chess. Let's checkmate the opponent. Let's go for the king. There's no one who can defend it. So knight e3 played, and I think this is the main point. Queen d8, queen h4. Mar gaya. Okay, you might think let's go rook g1, right? Because if queen d8, you want queen e1. This square which the rook was taking up, right? Queen d8, queen e1, and you're still fighting. Okay, I get it. But then I shift to b7. Now I'm attacking the f3 pawn. How do you defend it? Queen d1? No, you cannot. Knight is controlling. Queen f1? No, you cannot. Knight is controlling. So what to do? Bishop g2? Is this what the bishop is made for? क्या यही तुमने संस्कार दिए bishop को? Knight here, knight g5, knight f5, knight g3. Look at these knights. Horrible position. Rook f2, and unfortunately, Akobian forgets that the queen is needed to defend this pawn. Queen d8. Very good move. Bishop e6 played. You want to take here, then you want rook h2. Got it. So I won't take it. Actually, he did not forget. This was his plan. Bishop e6, f e6 played. Now h4 is hanging. Maybe he will go and defend with rook h2. And we have a super chat here. Travel with Nikhil Roshan, who has sent us Shairi. All my energy might lower down because the Shairi is in Hindi, but I'll try to keep it up. देख रहा है विनोद कैसे बिना लाइक किए बिना खेल का आनंद लिया जा रहा है. Humble request to all of you to like the stream. अरे निखिल रोशन जी, thank you so much. Rook h2 played, defending this pawn now. How should SL Narayanan take advantage? देखो, एक राह जो रुक गई तो और खुल गई. मैं मुड़ा जो साथ साथ तो राह खुल गई. I think something like that. Nikhil Roshan ji, good shairi, right? Rook a8, let's go. Yes, he plays rook a8. Now the rook is coming from the other side. Rook can join in from a4, queen a5. Let's enter from here. And the knight on e3 and bishop on d6. Both are actually wedged into the opponent's third rank. While the knight is doing a killer job, the bishop is just a showpiece, doing absolutely nothing here. Queen b1. Okay, let's carefully assess. Firstly, queen cannot take this pawn because rook a1 is a checkmate. So why don't we go and just put our rook here, bring our queen here so as to attack the f3 pawn, and with this, I think Narayanan has many ways to win. I think, guys, SL Narayanan is one of India's really big assets in this tournament. He is 2660, 2670 on the FIDE rating. He's young, he's talented, he's very hardworking. I think he's the one who should really, I think, who is going to give India a lot of chances with Vidit on top board, who's very strong, playing well in this tournament. Actually, I wouldn't say Vidit is playing outstandingly well here still. He did beat Mamedyarov, but he was in a lost position there. Yesterday, he did lose to Yakuboyev. Today, but he played a brilliant game. Rook a6, good move. That's the same point. You want to double down the a file. On Nihal on second board, super solid. You know, yesterday he did lose to Sindarov, but he is very good. I think India has to just get its act together on board number 4. We have 3 players, Sethuraman, Abhijit Gupta and Shashi Kiran. One of them has to sort of rise up to the occasion and say, we are going to do our job on the last board. And then India is really a very strong team. We can even sort of fight for the medal, like the gold medal here. Pratham Rao says, can you put bars on 4 games like chess assist? Pratham Rao, maybe that's a good idea. I'll try to do it in the next stream. Meanwhile, SL Narayanan has just won his game. Queen a8, attacking here, rook a1, game over, guys. This is over. Fantastic game played here by SL Narayanan. So India now leading 2-0, and with Nihal Sarin also having a pleasant position, it seems like we are going through, guys. Let's see what Nihal is up to. Oh, Nihal's opponent does some tricky business. Nihal went here and Nihal's opponent went rook d1. Why? He gave up a pawn. Because you know, this pawn, the bishop was like, bhai, meko to left out feel ho raha hai. Tum log sab log yaar, you don't involve me in your life. You should involve me more. You're like, what are you saying? Like, yeah, you know, everything's happening behind here and this pawn is not allowing me. Give up the pawn. So you're like, okay, fine, we'll give up the pawn. Check, king here. Check, king here. Bishop d3, rook d4, rook d1, and now Nihal Sarin also pressing pawn up, clear pawn up. मजा आ रहा है दोस्तों. क्या ही. Narayanan wins that. India is now 2-0 up with Nihal in a better position. And what about Sethu? Sethu fighting hard. I think for Sethu, it's a lot about confidence building. You know, if Sethu manages to hold this, he becomes like the guy we go to for our next games on the 4th board. Because yesterday, Abhijit Gupta lost. I don't know Shashi Kiran's score in this tournament. How is he doing? How many games has Shashi played? Let me quickly check the team composition with round results. We have Shashi Kiran, who has played only 1 game and he has drawn it. I don't know why Shashi Kiran isn't playing more. Abhijit is on half out of 2. Sethu is on half out of 2. So, yeah, I think for sure in the next round, whenever we go into the quarterfinals, I believe the quarterfinals now, how is the schedule going to be? I'm just trying to confirm to you guys how this tournament will continue. worldteams.fide.com is the name of the website. And by the way, rook g5 played here. Nikhil Roshanji says, guys, can we hit 1,000 likes? Please hit that like button. Yes, thank you. I agree with you, Nikhil ji. Thank you. So when we go to the next one, it will be quarterfinals, match 1, match 2. 3 baje kal. 3 baje kal. Okay, so 6:30 baje Indian time. Match 1, then match 2 at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. means 9:30. Okay, got it. 45 minutes plus 10 seconds increment is the time. Actually, it's 10-second increment, not 30. I was thinking it's 30-second increment. And very quickly, let's go to Nihal Sarin's game and see how is he continuing. He's playing here. So this is the thing. And then semi-finals also 2 matches, finals also 2 matches. Now, how do we play here? I think team 1 of group A will play team 4 of group B. And right now, it seems to me that India will finish at what? India might finish second, I think, no? If Uzbekistan wins, ranking cross table, India will go to 6 points. Azerbaijan might, maybe India will finish second or third, possibly second or third. When we finish second or third, we may face second or second of A group. And who is in third or second position of A group? France और यूक्रेन. अरे अरे बाप रे, क्या ही मजा आ जाएगा. MVL का टीम या फिर इवानचुक का टीम, मजा. That's going to be epic. India might finish second. That's what people are saying. Amazing. Oh, by the way, Nihal says, Nihal is like, oh, 2 points हो गए टीम के. रुक D4 खेलता हूँ, Bishop D4 draw. I mean, Onischuk can take a draw now because he cannot win this. And Nihal is doing the job at the right time. This is what I really love about Nihal, that he did not trade the rooks till SL Narayanan did not win. Because with the rooks, white can continue playing for a win. But the moment the rooks are traded, like if it was right now still, if India had not scored 2 points on other boards, then he would have played rook c4. But with this situation, he came back and he saw, SL Narayanan draw with it. SL Narayanan win with it win. Fine, draw is good for me. And so, guys, India going through to the next round. Let's go. No, Nihal doesn't. Nihal drew. And now all focus on Sethuraman. Sethuji right now, pawn down. Lot of exchanges did take place. But guys, let's have India OP in the chat, because Indian team has played really well to reach the top 4. And in fact, they may finish second in the group, beating the top seeds Azerbaijan. I mean, Uzbekistan is the team to beat. I feel Uzbekistan is the real monster in this tournament. Also China, France, Ukraine, Spain, matlab kya hi wo wala. I mean, in the group A, no, 4 teams are confirmed. China is number 1 for sure. I think France or Ukraine may come second or third, and Spain will be number 4. This is what I think may happen, but we'll see. Okay, now knight f4. Sethu is hoping to go into a rook endgame, because if you know this there are more chances of draw in rook endgame. But his opponent plays knight f6, knight e2, and let me update the score. No, I mean, today's man of the match definitely Vidit and SL Narayanan, both of them playing great chess and making sure that India going through. Men of the match. Doesn't sound good. King c6. Okay, Sethu making a comeback. Sethu bhai, go b4. Exchange more pawns on the board. That's what we want. When low on material, when materially down, exchange pawns. Don't exchange pieces. France is a strong team, so Swarnava Banerjee. No, Ali Reza is not playing, but yes, b4 played. Good move by Sethu. Excellent chess. Beradia says 2.5, 1.5. Beradia, I think it will be 3-1 right now, it feels to me. Because Sethu is very close to now holding this. He's trading pawns, and 1 extra pawn will not really matter, it seems. I think MVL for France. Then you also have, who else? Musa Jules, I think, yeah. And Fresine, Tigran Gharamian, very nice person, good friend of mine. Maxime Lagarde, that's a good team you have there. All 2650 plus almost. China is Lu Shanglai, and I'll tell you, Lu Shanglai, by the way, is a very, very strong player. In fact, in 2014, when the World Junior Championships were held in Pune, two Chinese players came. Maybe more would have come, but two sort of stood out. Wei Yi and Lu Shanglai. And Wei Yi went and became one of the most famous players in the world because, he achieved some milestones at a very young age. But you know who won that tournament? World Juniors 2014. It was Lu Shanglai who had won that event. So Lu Shanglai is not someone you can underestimate. He's a tremendously aggressive and attacking player. And right now he is the top board. Then you have Zhu Jiangyu. I think there is an interview with him on ChessBase India. Zhu Jiangyu, I think at one of the World Juniors, I had interviewed him. He's young and he's also a good player. Wen Yang, very strong, by the way. Wen Yang, very tall guy. Bai Jinshi, yes, we have interviewed him. In fact, Bai Jinshi came to many Indian events to play, these Delhi Opens and all of that. By the way, why is he giving up the G3 pawn? Because he'll get the H5 pawn. Yeah, it's good decision. Good decision, Setu. Setu also holding this. Setu is like, bye, don't leave me out of the party. Yeah, I also want to enjoy. He's going to take this. And then Lidi is the last board, and Lidi is firing like anything. So Lidi and Bai Jinshi. And in fact, Chinese players haven't lost a single game in this tournament. How amazing is that? Uh, and Ukraine has Ivanchuk, very powerful player on board one. All draws though. Ivanchuk is not in his best form. Shevchenko, the next big thing from Ukrainian chess. If you're talking about, let's say, Vincent and Abdusattorov and Nihal and Prague, Gukesh, Arjun, then Shevchenko also somewhere does feature there. He's very good. He's very talented. Again, check out his interview on ChessBase India. I did it at World Rapid and Blitz recently. Very, very nice guy. And Volokitin. Volokitin, excellent player, but not in good form here. By the way, he's written a very good book. Please, wherever you get a chance, it's not on ChessBase India store, but whenever you get it, buy it. It's called Perfect Your Chess. Beautiful book. It's written by him. And by the way, here Sethu can really show some, confidence and just sack his knight for this pawn. Because, yeah, just take it. Take here and play this position. Now just defend it. I mean, I think you can do it. Why not? I think I saw someone do that very comfortably recently. Sacked is, or if you have a direct way, rook e5, maybe that's more direct. Yeah. Let's see. He did it. Very good. See? Sethu did it. Nice. Volokitin, yeah. And Igor Kovalenko for the Ukrainian team. What? Igor Kovalenko playing for Ukraine? He was playing for Latvia. And he was considered as one of the most aggressive players out there. So Igor Kovalenko, very strong. And Vitaly Bernadsky, great player, nice player. He's played in India before. I've also played with him before. Good player. Mikhailo Oleksienko. Actually, he has a great YouTube channel as well. So this is how the Ukrainian team is. I think Spanish team is very strong. Because on top board, you have Santos Latasa, who beat Pragnananda at the Olympiad. So very good player. Board number 2 is Anton David Guyaro. We know he's like a world-class GM. He's played in Champions Chess Tour and he's one of the best. Alexei Shirov on board 3. No introduction needed. Fire on board. Just one of the most amazing players. Yes, now no longer as young he was before, but still can play his best on any given day. Daniel Yufa, who's from Russia, but now has changed his federation to Spain. Good player, good player, and Santos Ruiz Miguel on board number 5. So Spanish team also pretty strong. These four teams which I just right now read out are all teams from the A group. By the way, Netherlands also had a good team in Van Forest brothers, Warmerdam and Kevleshvili, but somehow yes, Santos also beat Vichy, I think. No, he didn't beat him. He beat him in one game, but then he lost to him in that Leon Masters. Um, Netherlands will get knocked out, which is actually kind of a bit sad because they had a good team in the Van Forest brothers, Max Warmerdam and Kevlishvili Robbie, but they haven't been able to fire, it seems. So they might get knocked out from this event. Nitin Raj says cut off opponent's king with your rook and he cannot mate with a knight and rook. No. No, you cannot, because the main thing is that, yes, I'll keep checking and, the king will run. Cray Cover says, hi Sagar, excited for your Chalchitra Talks videos. Yeah, thank you, Cray Cover. I was invited by Vaibhav Munjal from Chalchitra Talks to talk about recommendations. It's a channel where they interview people and ask them about their recommendations. And it's different things, like you can recommend books and shows, TV shows and movies and all of that. I think in the 1 hour or maybe 1.5 hour that we spoke, what? They drew. Okay. King just came. They agreed to a draw. And Sethuraman has drawn it. What a fighter, Sethu. Well done. India beats USA 3-1, guys. What a nice result for Team India. Excellently done. We are through to the quarterfinals. We just have to wait for who will be our opponents. But I think I will post that in the community post later on, because some games will have to be completed for that. And also maybe you guys can post it in the comment section later. For now, I will take your leave and I will see you guys on the other end tomorrow at 6:30. India's quarterfinals, not one match like 4 versus 4. It will be 2 matches, and if match 1 A team wins, if match 2 B team wins, then we have the Armageddon. I don't know what is the format of Armageddon. Lot to study. Everything will come in the community post later on. Also on our website, chessbase.in. Also on our other social media platforms. Himank here, who was watching this, generally puts off many of the things on our Instagram, Facebook, and everywhere. I will put it later on the YouTube community post. For now, I will leave you guys. Thank you all for following. It was a fun session. Did you enjoy? Please do leave a like. If you haven't subscribed to ChessBase India, please do subscribe. And I'll see you later. And do leave a comment for Team India, congratulating our boys, motivating them to do well. Take care. Bye-bye.